52 degrees. Let's talk about the forecast with Brittany Van Voorhees.
Well, I think it honestly looks fantastic. I don't have anything bad to say.
Cool.
Earlier in the show, I was saying poor Brad because he had like a terrible forecast this week. Now he takes Thursday, Friday off, and I have all the good news to share. So apologies,
Lucky
Brad.
you.
You're probably not up watching because I wouldn't either if I had the day off. But the next few days are going to look fantastic. It'll be a little bit chilly this evening, but the breeze will probably be enough to keep any kind of frost away. So if you're a gardener, no issues there heading into tomorrow morning. Now tomorrow looks sunny, pleasant. Temperature is about 10 to 15 degrees above average. And then we have a perfect Easter weekend forecast. In fact, we're looking at some of the warmest temperatures that we've had so far this year, with the potential for 3 days in a row of temps in the 80s. So let's start with what you're going to be dealing with if you're getting up around 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Most spots across the metro into the upper 30s. This will be enough of a cool down that you'll probably need a light jacket to start off tomorrow morning. But again, the wind's still high enough to not necessarily see significant frost formation. Think about the potential for frost as if we had wind on our skin. If we had water accumulating and it was windy, there would be no chance that that would be freezing on the tiny, tiny little hairs on our arms because, of course, the wind would be keeping that from happening. Same exact thing when we see grass and things like that waking up tomorrow morning. So the wind staying elevated prevents any widespread frost formation. Then in the afternoons, temperatures warm quickly. Anytime that you have drier air, which we do now have behind that front that moved through the area, we do see a bigger warm up. It takes a lot less energy to warm up dry air than it does muggy air. So we have 73 degrees for a forecast tomorrow. By Saturday, 77, and then by Easter Sunday, we're talking 82. Now 82 would tie the warmest temperature we've had so far this year. That happened back on March 14th. However, as we get closer to Monday, Tuesday, we could actually repeat that forecast twice, and Monday actually could be closer to 84. So that would certainly be some of the warmest temperatures we've had so far this year and be multiple days in a row of that temp above 80. Now, of course, what comes along with the warmer temperatures are pollen levels seemingly out of control. Over the last 30 days, probably no shocker to you that every single time we've seen a significant dip in pollen, it came with a lot of rain. When we see scattered showers, sometimes that can kick things up more, but when we see light, consistent rain, it helps wash the pollen away. I mentioned this a little bit earlier to our team. We were kind of talking about the pollen levels in the newsroom. And what happens when we have an early February, that's warmer, or even a warmer March, is that the pollen season starts off early, but it doesn't mean that it necessarily ends early. We typically see tree pollen peak late March and into April. So if you're really noticing your allergies kind of out of control over the last few weeks, it's probably no surprise because this is exactly the time of year. Right now, tree pollen is at its peak, so pine, oak, birch, maple, all of those allergens are going to be off the charts. The last few days haven't been quite as bad, but we are going to see those increase tomorrow, especially Saturday, Sunday, and even into the early half of next week. And of course, that Monday degree temperature at 84 is going to be one of our warmest. You'll see that reflected here in our Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. So 82 Easter Sunday, we're talking 84 there on Monday, and then 81 potentially on Tuesday. That'll be ahead of our next cold front. That brings our best chance of rain next week on Wednesday. Few showers, probably not going to impact the night's game too much as we don't see a chance of storms. It does bring us a brief cool down, but Colin Vanessa, the extended forecast keeps us still nice and dry with temperatures 60s and 70s for the end of next week. So it's a cool down, but it's brief and only a few showers by next Wednesday.